Going on, mofos? Can y'all hear me all right? Check one, two, check one, two. Coming at you live from the Burger King. The Wi-Fi at my hotel is pretty garbage, and I don't have good cell service here, so I figured this would be the next best place. This town is pretty spread out, but let's see if I can pull the chat up here and see if you guys are actually seeing me and hearing me all right. Let's see here. All right, greetings from Belgium, New York. Hey mofos, hey Habitat. Can you guys hear me okay? Somebody respond with that. Apologize for the salt stain. My hat is looking pretty greasy these days. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so give me a minute to get my bearings here. Mm-mm-mm. I wish there was a way that the chat would just stay on the screen. I've gone through this every single time with YouTube Live, and I don't know how to keep it on the screen. Live chat. Sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, a little update before we get going here. First of all, I want to thank you all for watching the video so far, commenting, Instagram posts, all that. I know I can't respond to these very often, but I do try to read as many as I can as I'm pushing miles and getting into town and taking zeros and stuff. So when I do catch those comments, when I'm in town especially, it helps me get back out on the trail and keeps me motivated to keep walking. So my body's been through hell already on this trail. So your comments definitely push me forward. I also want to thank everybody that's reached out that's been has been sending me resupply. Lost connection there for a second. Yeah, I want to thank everybody that's reached out through PayPal and Patreon and Venmo and all that, and sending me resupply boxes and reaching out to buy new shoes. And it means the world to me. It helps me tremendously when I have to take zeros to upload all these videos and stuff. So thank you very much, guys, for all that stuff. So before we get started here, I'm here for an hour for you guys for any questions you might have. A little update on where I'm at on the trail. I'm currently in Lake Isabella, California. I got off at Walker Pass at mile, I think it's at 6:53. So the heat wave we had the last couple days pretty much destroyed my nervous system. And I, I was forced to take a day off. So you guys follow me on Instagram. You guys saw that I was like shitting sideways for 5 days. So my body is somewhat back to normal after having today off. I've been drinking Pedialyte all day. So we'll get back to trail tomorrow back to Walker Pass. And from that point, it's only about 50 miles to Kennedy Meadows. And at that point, we're heading up above 10,000 feet. We're going to be in the snow, although it is melting fast with all the heat we've had here in California. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to try to pull the chat back up, guys, and try to answer some of y'all's questions here. If I can get it pulled up. Uh. Bear with me, guys. I'm working through this. Okay, here we go. We can hear you. Sounds good, loud and clear. Hi from Alabama. Greetings from Tornado City, aka Kansas City, Foothills Trail, South Carolina. A lot of boys and gals from the South, Illinois in the house. My partner Shelly and I did a border to Walker Pass last year. It was great watching your journey this year. That whole stretch from, well, actually from Hikertown to Walker Pass, that stretch is so gnarly. You guys watched my 2019 through hike. You remember that I basically passed out at Hikertown. It's just a heat wave that comes to this stretch, and it's long ass water carry after long ass water carry. On top of we had 90-degree heat the last few days, so you're hauling water for 17, 16, 17 miles and through 90-degree heat, and you're trying to conserve water, but it just takes everything out of your system. And I passed out in Hikertown in 2019. I didn't pass out this time, but I was severely dehydrated. That video has not come out yet. It'll come out this week, but you'll see how rough the shape I was getting down to one of those water caches. My body was basically shutting down at that point, but it's just a rough stretch of trail, man. All right. Has hat is looking fresh, sir. Thank you. Hopefully this one holds together. It's only got a couple short through hikes on it. I wear this hat in Scotland as well as Sweden, and this is almost 700 miles of the PCT. So it's been through some stuff already, but I'll wear this one until it disintegrates off my head like the last one. Let's see here. Michael Cahill asks, "How often are you back flushing your Sawyer?" I have not back flushed my Sawyer one time. I'm very lazy. I keep meaning to when I get to town, and then after all the chores are done and I go out to eat and I'm just lazy and I just lay down. I totally forget about it. And then I'll get back on the trail the next day. It's like, oh fuck, I'll do it the next time. I've been doing this ever since I started. So it usually gets to a point where it doesn't matter how many times you backflush it. It's just the desert destroys those Sawyers, man. They just get clogged. So I'll probably end up buying a new one eventually. Maybe I'll buy one at Triple Crown Outfitters when I get to Kennedy Meadows here in a few days. But yeah, it's the desert. It's just there's so much sediment and bullshit in those water sources that your soil gets clogged. And filtering water is my least favorite thing to do on trail. It's just such a pain in the ass. So yeah, it's a nightmare. My soil currently is just at a small trickle, so it takes me a good 20 minutes to filter 3 liters of water. All right, let's keep scrolling here. Uh, Long time follower. I love watching your progress. Good job. Thanks, Donovan. Appreciate you. Had any more snake sightings? Matthew Keith asks. No, just the two that you guys saw. What was that near Warner Springs? I saw those two. I think it was in the same day. Both those snakes, neither one of them rattled at me. I came up probably within 10 feet of them. They were laying halfway across the trail, so I was able to spot them pretty easily. So yeah, those are the only two snakes that I've seen. I believe that was the same day I saw that bobcat run next to me on the trail, which is pretty exciting. I probably passed by hundreds of rattlesnakes. You probably do it daily, but I haven't seen one, just those two that one day, which is a good thing because I'm terrified of snakes. uh, let's see here. Dayton Pruitt asks, swapped out the Topo shoes yet? No, I'm actually on my feet right now. I'm not a fan of these Topos, and don't get me wrong, when people hear me talk shit about gear and whatnot as I'm hiking, this is just all personal, my point of view and what's going on with my body. Obviously, Topos work with a lot of hikers, and I have seen a large amount of through hikers this year on the PCT wearing Topos, and they're doing amazing for other hikers. For me, they don't work. My feet are too fat. When I got into Big Bear, the ultras I had started with this year already had about 150, 200 miles on them, so they were on their way out already. Um, and so I got into Big Bear. I was going to buy a new pair of Ultras, but the outfitter there in Big Bear did not sell Ultras, and it really pissed me off actually because I went to this outfitter, and the guy, I said, "Do you sell Ultra Lone Peaks here?" He says, "No, I'm not trying to hurt anybody." Well, okay, maybe you're saying that tongue in cheek, but that's running an outfitter. That's not how you talk. Okay, for someone who worked at REI and worked at an outfitter on the Appalachian Trail, damn well know that this gear is so damn subjective. So for you to say something, I'm not trying to hurt anybody by selling ultras. Well, motherfucker, I've walked 9,000 miles and I've only gotten 3 blisters wearing ultras. So obviously they work for me. So cut that bullshit. But either way, they didn't have ultras. So I said, "What's the widest toe box you have in topos?" I think these ones are the shit. I can't remember the name of them. Anyway, they're the widest version they sold. So I bought those, and then there were their zero drop shoes. So I figured they'd be similar to Ultra. My left foot in particular swells a lot. Has been swelling on this trail, and it was too narrow for me. And they start falling apart. I'll show you in the videos when I get to Kenny Meadows and swap out for my ultras. Again, I'll show you what happened to these topos. I mean, they got destroyed up by the uh, ankle bone, completely shredded the very first day I wore them. So I'll show you guys in the video when I get to Kennedy Meadows. But yeah, they just didn't work out for me. I'll be excited to get my ultras again in Kennedy Meadows. I ordered the Lone Peak 9 Pluses, which have the Vibram soles on them. So we'll be rocking those up in the snow this year. All right, let's scroll back down here. Losing some comments here. How many folks we got in here? 174. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Oh yeah, good to see all y'all. See, Jane Sage, greetings from Jane and Steve in Tucson. Moved from SoCal 20 years ago, so very familiar with all the areas. Really enjoying watching your journey. Thank you, Jane and Steve. Appreciate y'all watching. Tommy Saunders asks, any regrets so far? Anything you would have done differently? Yeah, I would probably have carried, I guess my biggest regret, especially in this last section I've just done with the water carries and the heat, and Tehachapi, I wish I would have bought another 1 liter bottle so I had a capacity of 6 liters because I was conserving water more than I probably should have in this last stretch, and that's probably why my body got so messed up. I had 5 liters capacity, and I didn't always carry that 5 liters, so I guess that's a great regret right there. But when you're talking 5 liters of water, that's like 11, 12 pounds of water weight. And out of town, I was carrying 4.5, 5 days of food. So that is a shit ton of weight on top of all my camera shit. So for one, I would have sacrificed carrying less food for more water through this particular stretch. But that's about all I regret so far because it really messed up my body for a couple days. Uh, Slaughter Blues. How does this hike compare to 2019 so far? It's been for one, the less is snow. I mean, going over Baden Powell and like Fuller Ridge and all that area, that was a nightmare going through there in 2019. It was straight up micro spikes and post holing, and it was rough on the body. It took me like a full day to get through Fuller Ridge and Baden Powell. As you many of you know, I got stuck in that sleet storm blizzard at the top of that. This year, the trail, I mean, there was patches of snow up there, but it was the trail for the majority was dry. There was some blowdowns and stuff from the previous winter, but it was night and day. So that's been different for sure. I've seen well, it's been a lot of deja vu too. Some stuff I don't remember just because maybe the weather and the terrain look different. Who knows? But I've had some deja vu, but I've also had some sites that I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember hiking through this. So that's kind of been cool. I guess the biggest difference from 2019 though has been the crowds out here. I mean, the crowds that you guys have seen in the video so far. When I get to these caches and stuff, I try to film how many hikers are there. It's just pure madness out here. I don't know what the fuck is going on this year for somebody that craves solitude. I haven't got one bit of solitude on the trail this year. It's like hiking the AT in fucking April out here, man. It's insane. Um, for example, like in 2019, when I got to Campo to start, I was the only one to camp there. I walked to the terminus by myself and started by myself. This year, there was probably 30 hikers there at Campo. And I probably camped by myself 6 or 7 times up to this point in 2019. On this trail so far up to mile 650, I've camped by myself twice. Or in that, there's a sea of fucking tents surrounding me. It kind of sucks. Especially for someone like me who loves solitude, at least at camp. I get it, you're gonna cross paths with hikers all day long, but when I get to camp, I want to turn everything off. And when you get all these tramways together camping, they're just talking. No offense to them. I mean, that's the experience they want, but I'm not getting any solitude. So I try to soak up as much solitude as I can as I'm hiking throughout the day because I know when I get to camp, it's just going to be talk, 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 talk until hiker midnight, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is this year. Let's see here. Charlie asks, have you felt like it's been too crowded for hiking so far? Well, obviously, I just talked about that. Yes, it's way too crowded this year. Eric, hey Tats, is there any piece of gear that didn't work out on your hike so far? Great work, brother. Appreciate it, Eric. Yeah, I've had a lot of gear failures so far. Well, my ultras, they kind of shit the bed, but like I said, they already had some miles on before. My topos didn't work out for me. Um, I tried to set up my duplex in a real high windstorm up on a bald. And it snapped one of my line locks, which I have it repaired, but it's not a perfect fix. It's gonna work the rest of the trail, but that snapped on me. I lost a trekking pole tip. What else? Mm, Sleeping pad's been doing good though. Usually in 2019, I went my sleeping pad looked like a patchwork quilt by this time, but that old beast of a bitch pad I've been carrying for the last three through hikes now has held up. So yeah, gear failures happen. It's just inevitable. You just do the best you can and make it work. And replace shit as it goes. Socks, I've gone through a lot of socks this year. That aqueduct hike on that dirt road, it's just pure sand and gravel and shit. Just ate my socks up basically. So yeah, shit like that just happens. It's just normal. As long as you don't have anything too catastrophic, like a backpack strap breaking or your tent collapsing and getting ripped a hole in it or something like that. It's really minor stuff that you can deal with and get through to the next stretch. Greg, what's up, Greg? How can I get a resupply box to you? I'll add you to. I got a notes list on my phone. People are reaching out, so I can keep track of all this shit because there's been an insane amount of people reaching out that want to send resupply boxes. I'll add you to the list, and if anybody else wants to send me a box or something, I think I'm covered through basically Mammoth Lakes at this point. So probably towards the tail end of the Sierra, so Lake Tahoe and NorCal. I'll be looking for probably resupplies at that point. But I'll add you to the list and I'll keep you posted. Keep reminding me though, because is keeping track of all this shit is very difficult for me sometimes. When I get to town, I got to upload all this shit and do all our chores and stuff. It's kind of a nightmare, but Appreciate y'all wanting to send me stuff. It helps me when I get to town. I don't have to go to a grocery store. I just run to the post office real quick and grab a box. It makes my life a lot easier. Let's see here. Get some new darn toughs yet? No. So when I got my, like I said, when I walked the aqueduct, I ripped up all my darn toughs. They were all shredded. And I got into, what town was it? Um, I guess it must have been Tehachapi. They don't have an outfitter, a legit outfitter there. So all they have is a Big Five Sporting Goods, and they don't sell darn toughs. They sell some hiking socks, but they're garbage. I have a pair of them right now. I shredded one pair the very first day I bought them out at Tehachapi. This other pair has held up so far. So these ones have to make it another 50 miles to Kennedy Meadows, at which point there's Triple Crown Outfitters, and I can pick up some new socks for the Sierra. But yeah, that road walk, man, just fucked everything up. Let's see here. Dude, I plan to hopefully see you in Cascades in late September. I hope to be there but towards late September, not late October this year. I would like to see the Northern Cascades when they're not buried in snow this year. That would be lovely. I stayed in Lake Isabella during my through the meth motel was one of the worst motels I've ever stayed in. Yeah, it's pretty ghetto. I mean, Lake Isabella, it's if you read the comments on Gut Hook, man, it's everybody tells you it's meth city around here. It's pretty sad, in fact. Everybody around here just looks depressed as all hell. It's just not most hikers don't come here. The reason I came in, I had packed out enough food to make it to Kennedy Meadows on the stretch. It was 135 miles, I think. But then the heat wave that destroyed my body, it was just I had to come in and to rest my body basically. But yeah, this town is it's not very hiker friendly. There's like two hotels. The one I'm staying at is ghetto as fuck. There's probably meth heads in there all the time. It's just not a good town for hikers. I would not recommend coming here, but here I am. I guess the good thing is I'm not surrounded by a bunch of hikers here in town. I got a little privacy, so that's kind of been nice. But we'll be out of here tomorrow. And it is also a 30-mile hitch on back from Walker Pass to this town. So it's a long ass hitch. Luckily, a band lifer picked me up. I only waited 5 minutes from Walker Pass, got a ride in for him. Real cool dude. And then they run shuttles Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from Kern Valley Transit. So I'm gonna hop on the transit bus out of here tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about hitching back 30 miles to the trail. But yeah, stay clear of Ridgecrest or Lake Isabella. If you can push it all the way to Kennedy Meadows from Tehachapi, that's your best bet. All right, let's keep on scrolling here, guys. Trying to get through as many questions as I can for you guys. Thank you to everybody that's been donating too through this live chat, by the way. Really appreciate it. It's going to pay for my stay here in Lake Isabella. Let's see. Hardly recognized you clean. I did get a shower yesterday. I did not take a shower today, but this town is also very spread out. There's a laundromat, that's like a mile and a half walk. So I just did sink laundry, typical hiker trash, just get the dirt off my shit. So I'll do proper laundry when I get to Kennedy Meadows in a few days because I plan on taking a few days off there to get all my gear squared away before I head up into the snow. How long are you anticipating it taking you to get through the Sierra into Lake Tahoe? Well, I've been trying to keep up on postholer.com with the snow reports and then obviously reading the Gut Hood comments. From everybody that's been going through there, this seems like the snow is rapidly melting. I'll probably be heading up over Forester Pass, I would say. I think I'm about well, I think Forester passes at mile 780 or so. So I'll be there in about 10 days or something like that, I would assume. As of right now, the most recent comment from yesterday over Forester Pass was a third of it is covered in snow. That's it. So it's rapidly melting. But all those bigger passes like, Forester, the north side will be all buried still, the Mather Pass, Glen Pass, Muir Pass, they'll all be buried once you get farther past those first few passes, then the snow will probably be gone, I'm guessing at that point. So who knows how long it'll take me. I mean, it probably won't take me as nearly as long as the last in 2019. I basically that year I could only do one pass a day. Um, Maybe I'll be able to do a couple in a day this time around. We'll see. I won't know until I get up there. Um, I ate an electrolyte dose, 2 caplets every 2 hours, and drank as much as I could stand on that stretch. Yeah, it's almost necessary, but, like I said, I wish I had a capacity of 6 liters through this stretch just because of the heat wave. If it wasn't so damn hot and we had a breeze and shit, maybe it was overcast, it wouldn't have been as bad, but that heat just destroyed my ass, and I wasn't the only one. I don't think those videos have come out yet. You'll see this week's videos of that stretch. There was a hiker that got rushed to the hospital the other day. We had to call 911. In fact, me and another hiker had to pick him up off the side of the road at one of the water caches and lift him up into the truck 'cause he couldn't feel his feet. So he was in rough shape. There was four hikers that bailed from the road at that same cache to go into town early. There was another gal I was hiking with. She was throwing up that night a couple times, so she was in rough shape. I was in rough shape. It just destroyed everybody. Let's see here. Scroll back up here, guys. Give me a second. Uh, uh, uh. What's your favorite instant coffee on the trail? I don't really have a preference. Just it's just caffeine to me, really. I mean, I don't even really like black coffee. I've been hauling out creamer the last couple days, makes it a little bit more enjoyable. It's just caffeine to get me out of bed, really. I'm a coffee snob when I'm back home, but on trail, it's just caffeine to get me going. I do like the process of drinking hot coffee. There's plenty of hikers out here that just take caffeine pills, but I like the process of make coffee. Plus, if I didn't do it for my intro, you guys would be pissed. So I have to make that every morning. Um, I guess Starbucks, if I had to choose, Starbucks' Vias are pretty good. Um, man, you guys are dished out the questions. I'm trying to keep up here. Uh, I guess I'll just keep on going here. What is your packed weight with 5 liters of water? It depends on me how much food carry it is, really. Typically, I've been doing 100-mile stretches, 5 days, 4.5 days, 4 days in the morning, whatever. Um, I don't know. My package weighs a lot. I would say, if I had to guess, with 5 liters of water, 5 days of food, my pack is probably around 45 pounds, I would say. Heavy. It's heavy out of town for sure. Luckily, coming out of here, I'm only got 2 days in the morning to Kennedy Meadows, so I'm going real light. I do have a decent water carry from Walker Pass tomorrow. I think it's 12 miles to get up over that climb into the first water. That's probably what I'll do tomorrow is just get over that climb. So I probably won't get back to the trail till around 11:30, and I'm just gonna try to get over that climb to the first water. So let's see here. Is the AT still your favorite? Yeah, I would say so. I've been talking to other hikers out here. A lot of them done the AT out here. Not too many I've talked to have done the CDT yet, but everyone there, they all, most of them hate the AT just because the elevation and the rain and everything else. But that's my jam right there, man. I would rather hike the rain all day than fucking 90-degree heat carrying 5 liters of water in my back. It's just my personal preference. That's the one beauty of the AT. You don't have to carry very much water. You got water everywhere. But that's gonna be the case here for me in the Sierra here soon, so I'm just about through this goddamn godforsaken desert. Why the change in music for the intro? I figure I changed it up a little bit. There's probably gonna be some repeats because I didn't I downloaded it probably. I think I got maybe 200 songs, but I put out a video every day for like 6 months. So there'll be some repeats, but I think it just helps the mood in the morning, and not the same intro. I know a lot of people got sick of that last time, which I totally get. It makes me have to work a little bit more editing, so I have to pick and choose. I try to pick and choose the music to set the mood of each day. So it does take me some time to get the proper music. So it's a little extra process for me, but I think it adds to the video for sure. I really do take pride in choosing the right music for that particular video. I think it just sets the mood and makes the experience of watching it a little bit better. At least I hope it does. Jeff, is this time around harder than last time? I think I'd say it's about the same. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the desert. The desert has it's obviously beautiful, and I enjoy the nights in the desert when everything calms down. It's cool, and the breeze is blowing. You hear the coyotes, and I do enjoy that, but the hiking through the heat, man, and constantly having to think about water is I don't it takes the enjoyment out of it for me in the desert at least. Your whole day, at least mine, is based around water carries. Like the minute you wake up and look at the map, you're like, okay, how far do I have to walk to water so I don't fucking die today? And then that's your day. You can't just like set up camp wherever you want and say, "Oh, this is a beautiful spot. Well, yeah, I'd like to camp here, but then I might run out of fucking water and die tomorrow." It sucks. So, yeah, the desert's not my favorite, but I'd say as far as if it's harder, it's been about the same, I would say. Um, how do you keep strong with all that crappy food? You just hope your body holds together, man. We're not eating good food out here, man. It's ramen and candy. It's it, man. It's just I see a lot of comments, probably from weekend warriors who have the luxury of cooking legit meals on trail. I suppose we could do that sometimes too, but when you're hauling this much water, you're limited to what you can carry food wise. So, and it's basically bullshit. It's candy and fucking ramen noodles. You're eating that shit 5 days a week and pushing 20 miles a day. It's gonna put your body through hell. So you just hope it stays together the best you can, and you keep the electrolytes coming and take breaks when you need to, and rest when you need to when you're in town. It's about the best you can do out here. You're pushing 100 miles in 5 days, man. It's just calories. Just get it down your fucking system so you can keep moving. That's basically all it is. When are you going to wash your hat? Never. I won't wash my hat. This is going to be it. It is until it disintegrates off my head. I don't wash these things. And my shirt's already fucking rank as all hell. I'll probably not buy a new shirt once I get to the Sierra if I don't rip it before then. Let's see here. How does it feel not being stuck in Denver? Oh, it feels lovely. I got that cesspool of a fucking city, man. Just all the open drug use and fuckers doing fentanyl on the buses and shit on my way to work. It was sad to see that shit, man. Yeah, Denver's a shithole. My personal opinion. No offense if you love it there, but I was not a fan. Uh, hey mofo, what size darn tufts for hiker box in Sierra City? I wear size 12 and a half, 13 shoes, so whatever the fuck that is. I'd love to see you do your opening statements like Good Morning Vietnam. I love that fucking movie. It's Good Morning Vietnam. That's got one of the best soundtracks of all time. I love Robin Williams. That movie's classic, man. I do watch movies in my tent too, by the way. I've downloaded a few. I usually watch The Revenant. I've watched The Revenant once on the trail this year. I watched Papillon the other night. I love that movie. I watched Papillon in my tent the other night. So I get to camp early and I'm just chilling. I've got my video edited for the day. I'll kick out a movie and wind down at night. It's kind of nice. Granted, my battery bank's not going dead. I can afford to do that. Um, are you going to visit the UK again? I'd love to go back to Scotland again as a photographer, not as a hiker. I mean, I would hike in Scotland, obviously, again, but I want to go back as a photographer and just photograph the landscape again. I mean, I got some good photos from Scotland, but I want to take another month there just to photograph that fucking country. It's so goddamn beautiful. So I would love to go back. Isle of Skye, that's one place I regret not being able to see. The Scottish National Trail didn't go through Isle of Skye, so I'd like to go up there and photograph. Let's see. Keep up with the great videos. Thanks, Charles. How we doing on time here? 30 minutes. We got another 30 minutes with me, guys. Keep the questions coming. I appreciate y'all. Any foods you tired of on trail yet? Oh, all of them. Yeah, I've been through hiking for fucking 7 years, man. I'm sick of all this food. The ramen for the first couple weeks on this trail was I didn't get sick of it. I'm starting to get sick of ramen already. Tuna packets I can't do anymore. If you guys do want to send me boxes, I'll eat them, but I appreciate no more tuna packets because that's just I can't do it anymore, man. I gotta mix it up a little bit. It's just I've been doing it for so long. It's just the variety is not you're limited to what you can eat basically. So candy, I never get sick of that, obviously, which isn't good, but I try to mix up ramen the best I can, change up the chips I carry. I've been doing kind bars in the morning. I don't cook a legit breakfast. I just eat like those kind breakfast bars. I've been enjoying those. Peanut butter wraps, Nutella wraps. Um, yeah, I'm just sick of everything, guys. I've been doing this shit too long. Uh, but I do appreciate when you guys send me like mountain houses and peak refuels and backpackers pantry and all that stuff. That stuff I'll never get sick of that. It's legit food for a through hiker. So I do enjoy those still. Um Hot as hell here in Oregon right now. Yeah. Good old Oregon. I can't wait to get up there to uh Three Sisters and Mount Hood and Adams and all that. I love that stretch of trail, even though the mosquitoes are fucking gnarly through there. Any special you would love to see in your resupply boxes? Well, I guess kind of just went over that. How many unwarranted advice through the comments have you been getting? Any Jennifers like that, like last time? Not really. I mean, there's probably been some, but I can't read all the comments. So, um, generally nowadays, if I get comments like that, rather than it used to weigh on me for a whole stretch after that, and it would just weigh on me, and it wasn't good. But now these days, maybe it's just getting older and wiser and not giving a fuck as much. When I see those comments, I usually just block them right away, and I don't even respond to them. So makes my life a lot easier going forward. But there's always people trying to give me advice out here, and I get most of them are it's all in good intentions, but a lot of them are from people that have never seen another video from me. Maybe it's their first video watching, and they don't realize I've done all these miles before, and I've learned from my own mistakes, and I know how to do this stuff now, so I get it. They're just trying to help, but it's like obviously, some of the advice they give. Uh, let's see here. Marcus, thanks for 20 bucks, man. If you need a ride from Tahoe or Carson Pass, hit me up. I'm close. Remind me on Instagram, Mark. Send me a DM and I'll try to add it to the list so I don't forget you. That's still a ways out. Are you planning on using Ice Axe to the Sierra? Yeah, I'm bringing one. I mean, it'd be stupid not to. I might not have to use it as much this year. Um, yeah, but I'll take it. I've got my a couple coworkers from REI. They're gonna send my bear can as well as my ice axe up to Kennedy Meadows. It was on with a resupply in my bear can, so I'll carry it just for safety reasons. A fun fact, I was so thinking of 2019 when I started this trail. I've been hauling my micro spikes since Campo and I've been carrying them the whole time, never used them, never pulled them out once. I got a lot of use out of them up until this point in 2019, going over Bay and Powell and all that. But I've been carrying that extra weight this whole time, 650 miles, and never pulled them out once, which is kind of annoying, but there we go. I'll need them going forward at least. Let's see. Jason and April, I always think of the line from We Were Soldiers when you say, "Good morning, you motherfucking sunshines." I want to reply with, "How do you know what kind of morning it's going to be?" Yeah, it's the same thing. It's good to say that kind of stuff, and that's why I say it's going to be a great fucking day every morning to myself. I'm saying it to you guys, obviously, but I'm also saying that to myself because no matter how much pain I'm in, I gotta remind myself it's gonna be a good fucking day. You're gonna get through it one way or another. So I gotta remind myself that every single morning, especially when I'm having shit days, you just keep inching your way up and you'll get through it somehow. So reminding myself that every morning, it's gonna be a great fucking day. It starts your day off with a good mood and pushes you forward for the first half day at least. What up, fool? It's Shenton from Sunny Point. Shenton, I don't remember you, Shenton. Oh, do I remember you, Shenton? Sunny Point Cafe, Asheville, North Carolina. Loving the new series. Love that you have been keeping the passion. I'm sorry, Oh, it's Shenton. Yeah, I do remember you, brother. Yeah, Lion Cook, buddy. Yep, I remember. Hope you guys are doing. You still live in Asheville? Hope you guys are doing all right after that hurricane, man. It was sad. It was fucked up. You guys didn't get your water turned on for so long. No gaiters this time. No, I never wore gaiters. Actually, I bought gaiters when I got to Northern Cascades in 2019, just because it was like waist deep snow drifts, but no gaiters. Probably would have helped my socks a little bit, maybe with all the sand and dust and stuff through the desert to lengthen the life of my socks. But I don't like having gaiters. I've tried them in the past. I'm not a fan of them. Next pack, Hyperlight Unbound. Is that their like 30-liter pack? I'm not ultralight enough for that shit. I think that's their what 30 or 32-liter pack. I don't think I could ever get down to their 40-liter pack, quite honestly. I need that 55-liter. Have you ever thought about investing in a dehydrator and making healthy dehydrated meals beforehand? No, no, because my appetite constantly changes out here. I don't want to get a bunch of bulk food from Costco and then find out fucking 1,000 miles of the trail that I can't even eat it anymore. So some people do that. Probably saves them money, but my appetite changes too much out here. I could get sick of ramen one week and then crave it the next. It changes too often. Do you plan on doing the AT again? If so, what year? I don't know. I don't plan too far ahead. I wouldn't rule it out. Eric asks, what are some go-to songs from the Ivy Tattoo Making Spotify playlist? I have a pretty good mixture of songs. I can go anywhere from typically I listen to old school country, Johnny Cash and Waylon and Willie and all those guys, Hank 3. But then I also listen to like metal and stuff. I listen to a lot of Metallica and Pantera and Slayer and shit like that. Folk music, Elvis Presley. I listen to it all basically. But I haven't been listening to it all music this year. The only time I threw my Spotify playlist on this year was for the Aqueduct hike, and that only lasted for maybe 5 miles. And I just wanted to listen to the breeze after that. So I haven't listened to music at all this year. I just like listening to the sound of nature. At least this year, it's been nice. Uh, Icon brother, thank you. Will do. Let's see. Have you tried Jif peanut butter and chocolate? How do we send you boxes? Send me an Instagram DM if you got Instagram. I'll give you a address when I get farther up the trail. Jif peanut butter and chocolate, is that the combo? I don't think I've ever done that. Typically, my go-to dessert at night is a flour tortilla with Nutella and then peanut butter on top of that, and then I'll sprinkle some Sour Patch Kids or M&Ms on top of that. That's like my dessert wrap I do most nights. Protein bars, do you get enough protein with current supplies? No, there's never enough protein. There's just never enough. It's a lot of carbohydrates and sugar, which isn't good for your body, but you try to get as much protein as you can. This time around, I actually went and bought some jerky here in Lake Isabella, some jerky sticks and stuff. So, but yeah, tuna packets, I'm so sick of them. I try to get them down, but it's hard. Uh, Ever think you might write a book on these hikes? Yeah, I'd like to one day. I think now I've had people mention that before, and I would love to. The problem is I'm still living my book, if you will. I'm still hiking, so I guess one of these days when I decide I don't want to hike anymore, I mean, I can sit down and write a book about all this shit I've done. I love to one day. Good thing I have 700 damn videos of hiking footage. I have references to go back to write this book because my memory is fading year after year with these more trails I do. Um, is what is called you wait, what is it called if you do the Triple Crown twice? Double Triple Crowner? I don't know if there's a particular name for it. Um, there's a few people have done well, there's Let It Be. He lives down there. Well, I met him in Pagosa Springs, Colorado. He's a quadruple triple crowner. There's Lint. He's a triple crowner. There's a few crazies out there. If you hold in a fart, where does it go? Hopefully you don't do that in your sleeping bags. That's happened to me a few times. That's a gnarly one coming out of your sleeping bag at night. If it gets trapped in there for a minute or two and then it creeps its way up. That's a rough wake up call right there. Great video, bud. Enjoying your videos and commentary as always. Thank you. Been hunting for 60 years. Still have people trying to tell me how to do it. Yeah, I still get comments from Appalachian Trail videos that I hiked in 2018, telling me I'm never going to make it or I'm doing this wrong. I finished that trail years ago. Obviously, I did something right. What is your favorite peak meal? I'm a fan of the chicken coconut curry. I don't think I've ever had that one. I really like the peak beef stroganoff and the pad thai. Probably my two favorites from that one. I would say out of all the dehydrated backpacking meals, peak refuel is probably my favorite. I think they just put more flavor in those ones. Mountain houses, I can get them down, but they're very bland for my taste. That's for hot sauce in a lot of them. But peak refuels, they tend to put more flavor in those, I think. What, if anything, has surprised you most this year, if anything, compared to last time? The crowds, obviously, I went over that. The crowds have surprised me. Uh, Hyperlake Unbound comes 40 liter or 55. Okay. Yeah, it's just their new style pack. I saw that on their website. I didn't really look into them too much. I thought that was maybe they came with a more ultralight pack, didn't they? I think it was like called the Contour or something. I can't remember, but I've just been going with the same pack, the Junction pack, or I started with the Wind Rider. It's basically the same. I've been using it forever. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Fuck yeah, go Waylon. Hell yeah. Love Metallica. Love Metallica too. That's right. I've seen Metallica live 7 or 8 times probably. Um, Lost Dog Street Band. Yep. Big fan of Lost Dog Street Band for sure. Oh, that bluegrass, old school country, man. I love it. I have Johnny Cash and Hank Williams Sr. tattooed on my back, as well as I have Hank Williams III tattooed on my forearm there. So obviously I'm a fan. Uh, I was the Eggman working with you, Ray Cam, and crazy ass Jackie. Yeah, good old memories from Sunny Point Cafe. Thanks for refreshing my memory there, man. You guys probably hated my ass my last year there, because I was getting ready to go hike the PCT, and I was about over you fuckers. Now you understand why. This is my passion. This is what I turned into. I was a through hiker, man. You got me fucking flipping eggs 30,000 times a day. How's the Osmo working out? Fragile. You know what? The Osmo Pocket's been working out very well. I've been pleasantly surprised with that thing. I was fully expecting it for it to break already because there's no weather sealing on it, and with all the dust through the desert. But I haven't been protecting or babying that thing in the slightest. I literally just throw it in its hard case and throw it in my hip belt pocket. I pull that thing out 20 times a day, and it's been getting decent footage. I hope you guys have been liking that. A little more steady than my Sony camera when I'm walking down the trail. Yeah, it's been working out well. So we'll continue to use it. I'm gonna have my GoPro shipped up to Oregon, probably Ashland. So when rainy season really starts hitting, I'll probably swap out my Osmo for my GoPro. The one thing I wish the battery on the Osmo Pocket was a little bit better. I mean, it's been fine for what I've been using it for, but I haven't done any time lapses with it, which kind of sucks. It's nice having time lapses in the videos, but I think the battery won't last very long doing that. So I've been holding off on doing time lapses with it, unfortunately. Any more run-ins with Forest Mall cops? Nope, just those two dickheads early on the trail. Well, I guess not. One of them was kind of a dick. Tom Mills, his buddy was like threatening me. Once you get to San Jacinto, my buddy's a hard ass. Well, that's not attitude. You want to see my permit? Fine. Come at me with a good attitude, okay? We're working it together out here. You don't have to say something like, "Oh, my buddy up in San Jacinto is a hard ass, and he'll give you a ticket if you have a lighter." Like, how is that? There's a way to go about it, okay? And that's what pissed me off so much. And a lot of people jumped on my throat about that rant, but if you were there and you saw the way the guy talked to me about that, it's like, no, okay, we're all out here together. Let's work together. I have no problem showing my permit, but don't be a dick about it. And those guys from the PCTA, they literally set up their booth right at the Southern Terminus. Like, I want to have a moment there by myself. And these guys are just yapping away right at the terminus. I'm trying to film a video. And I've already been up there before, so it wasn't a huge deal for me. But can you imagine if it was your first time up there and you want to have a special moment by the terminus? And then these asshats are just yelling and talking and laughing right next to the terminus. Like, set up down the trailhead a little bit. That just pissed me off. And it was all within the first 30 miles. So it started off. I had a bad taste in my mouth the first few days on trail because of that. But no run-ins yet. I'm sure once I get up to Yosemite, it's expected up there. So I'll be breaking out my permit quite a bit up there. Have you ever heard or seen felt any Bigfoot or other spooks? No, I don't do the whole Bigfoot conspiracy shit. Uh, do you have a free shitter sticker? I probably should make one. That needs to become a new official term. There's been a lot of trail magic out here, free shit, if you will, out of PCT this year. I just had some the other day coming into Walker Pass in fact, hot dogs and soda. Most of the water caches I've had free shit, so there's been a lot of it this year compared to 2019. It's been nice. Let's see here. What are we gonna up on? 45 minutes. We'll do another 15 for you guys. Thanks for keeping the questions coming, man. I'm trying to get through all these for you. Um, Jeff, have you hiked since you were a kid, or was there a single moment in time that sparked your love for through hiking? I was I was, I guess, an outdoorsman growing up in Michigan and into hunting and fishing in my younger years. I didn't get like into backpacking, if you will, till I got sober in 29, no, 2013. I was living out in Montana and I started day hiking basically. And then when I moved to North Carolina, I got into section hiking on the Appalachian Trail. And it was on the Appalachian Trail on a weekend trip that I found out about this through hiking business. So it came later in life. I was what, 33 when I got sober. So it came later in life, the whole backpacking thing for me. But I was always a outdoorsy kid growing up, hunting and fishing and running around the woods and stuff. Let's see here. Quarter pounder with or without cheese? Of course, cheese. Forgot about I had iced coffee here from the King. Um, Billy Strings. Yep, big fan of Billy Strings as well. Charlie, thanks for the 20 bones. Hopefully you're feeling better. Yeah, I feel a lot better from after coming into the pass the other day. Night and day. I drank some Pedialyte and a bunch of Gatorade and got some anti-diarrhea stuff down my system. So I think I'll be good to go going forward. The forecast doesn't look too unbearable coming out here, but I've only got a few more days and I'm getting up in elevation again, so I'll be fine. Uh, replace your knife with what? I did get a pocket knife. I have one of the little Swiss Army deals. It's basically just for opening resupply boxes when I get to town. Oh, and cutting, it's got scissors on it, so I can cut my fingernails and my toenails when I need to. Any chance of doing a portion with Feathers, the good old days? I don't know what Feathers is up to these days, quite honestly. Hope she's doing all right. Yeah, I don't know what Feathers is up to. Osmo Pocket 3, my only complaint is when I use face tracking, it jerks if you turn away from the camera. Yeah, it can be a little finicky. That's happened to me a couple times. If I jerk my head too fast or something like that, it loses sight of me. But as long as I'm not jerking my hand around with the Osmo, it's been fine. Uh, which is the most challenging, PCT or CDT? The CDT for sure. Yeah, it's just the CDT is you have more consistent, longer food carries. The stretches in between are longer, so you're carrying more weight out of town. And then you have, stretches like the Great Basin in Wyoming, which is the water source is like a marathon apart, and it's just 100 fucking degrees out there, and the water's just shit. And the CDT takes a lot out of your body for sure, but the PCT is no joke, especially through the desert section. Obviously, it kicked my ass already this year, and it did back in 2019 as well. Um, let's see here. Hey fuckers to you. Are you guys getting rained on? No, I got sprinkled on for one morning, way back early in the desert, and that was it. No snow, no rain. I actually sprinkled a little bit here in town when I was in today, but it lasted 5 minutes. It's been good weather other than the heat wave we just had. Do you carry bear spray? No, not on the AT or not on the PCT. Carry bear spray and the CDT when I got to Wyoming, Montana, just because grizzly country. But black bears, I don't. They're just big raccoons to me. Had enough experience with black bears at this point. There's big raccoons looking for trash, in my opinion. Um, Cowboy camping so far, snakes, critters, weather, or any issues. I don't cowboy camp. I will out of necessity. I have before in the past. It's more of so out of necessity. I like being at my tent at night. It's my home. It's a place for me to retreat at the end of the night. I just like being in my tent. All right, let's see. I'm gonna scroll back up, see if I missed any of you guys' questions. We got about maybe I'll do another 10 more minutes, guys. So while you guys are firing off more questions, I'm gonna go all the way back and see if I missed anything for you. Thanks y'all for sticking around for an hour. This has been fun. Got 300 people on here now. That's crazy. Uh, uh, uh. What about like chicken packets, spam? Yeah, I'll do spam and chicken packets and all that stuff. I prefer I guess I prefer the chicken and the spam over tuna at this point. I see a lot of hikers out here being real creative with their food. I wish I was more creative. You'd think I'd be more creative. I've been line cook for 10 years. But I think I've just been shoving this hiker food down my throat for so long that I'm just sick of everything. And it's just really just calories for me. I don't look forward to eating on trail ever, really. I look forward to town food. I mean, that never gets old, but I don't look forward to eating at all on trail. It's just calories out of necessity. If I didn't eat all the time, my body would suffer. So yeah, I don't look forward to eating on trail at all. Mm-mm. I enjoy how do you film your videos? Creative, the music for the videos works well. So my basic process of filming, the filming part isn't hard for me. I don't know if you want to call it a set list, but there's specific shots you guys see me do over and over again. The walking away from the camera, the walking to the camera, walking across the camera, filming my feet, filming a side profile of my face, doing slow panning shots of a good view. There's a few standard shots that I do all day long, and then when you put them all together with some good music, it makes for a pretty decent video. So I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I just see cool shit and I film it in different angles, what I think would be the best angle, and then put a good song to it, and that seems to work. So that's my basic process for filming all day long. Um, yeah, that's basically how I do it. No special thing. And then I mean, takes me about 45 minutes of my time at night to edit a video and go to bed and do it all over again the next morning. Huh. If you can find it, Starkist has packets of beef, taco beef. That doesn't sound good to me at all. What trail is more physically demanding, AT, PCT, or CDT? The AT is more physically demanding, I would say. All in all, the CDT just it's the CDT is rough on you mentally, physically, and it takes your soul, basically. Uh, there are easy stretches of all these trails, and there's hard stretches of all these trails. Hardest physically the Appalachian Trail, just because the constant elevation change up and down all day long for 6 months. Yes, you do get your trail legs, and I mean, it doesn't become easier, but you get used to it towards the end, I would say. Your body's more adapted to doing that elevation change. The CDT, it's just a combination of the heat, the snow, the rain, the long stretches, the long water carries. It just takes everything out of you. That's why on the CDT, my body basically gave up in Montana. I mean, I was pretty much a walking corpse for the last fucking 300, 400 miles of that trail. My body had given up on that trail. It just took everything out of me. Why many people don't do the CDT. It's a rough one, man. How many extra miles do you assume you would add by all the extra shots of walking across away from the camera? I've been asked that a lot. I don't know. I noticed like let's say okay, so I've noticed a little bit this year when I because I've been hiking with camping with a lot of people. So I notice when I get up in the morning, we'll all start about the same time, maybe a half hour difference, but I'll get going with a group of hikers at, within 10, 15 minutes usually. And then I usually get a lot of those walking by the camera shots early in the morning when my legs are fresh and I'm in the mood to do it and the light is good and all that. And so I'll do 3 or 4 of those first thing in the morning, and then I won't see those hikers again the rest of the day. So obviously they're pushing ahead, way ahead of me at that point. I would say probably the first half of the day of filming, they probably gained an extra 2 miles on me just from me stopping and filming so much. So there you go. All right, guys, we'll do a couple more questions. Let's see here. Favorite Zen, I need you to send you a log, probably hard to find. Yeah, California sucks. They don't sell flavored dip here. Sometimes I've been able to find stuff like this. I bought a couple cans of this in Tehachapi. This is Zemo mango flavored. I just don't like the tobacco flavored anymore. I used to dip that stuff, but I like flavored stuff. So when I get this, I can find it. I'll buy it. But I typically dip Brogue or nicotine pouches when I hike, and then I like Copenhagen long cut wintergreen when I'm in my tent at night just to enjoy a dip at night after I'm done hiking. But nasty habit, don't get into it, but it keeps me getting up the trail for sure. If I ran out of dip out here, it'd be a sad, sad day. I'd be in rough shape. Your vids are so easy to watch. Thank you very much. Not they're not always easy to make. I've gotten decent at it over the years, but I do put a lot of effort into it. So I'm glad you guys appreciate it. Did you have COVID on the CDT? I never one got tested. I would assume so. I lost a good 20, 30 pounds by the end of that trail. And then I got sick towards the end. I took like 3 or 4 zeros, and I was in rough shape, man. I think I got COVID. I just don't know, but that's what I would assume. My immune system was just completely shot. Your editing is great, conveys the beauty of the trail, scenery, and the hiker experience. Thank you for the content. We look forward to it. Be safe, enjoy the trail. Thank you very much, Jane. I appreciate that. There's a lot of cans coming your way in Kenny Meadows box. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, guys. I think we're gonna leave it there. I've kept you guys on here long enough. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys again for watching the videos and commenting it. I really do appreciate it. And everybody that's been supporting me this year. It feels good to be out on the trail again. I feel myself again. Even though, you'll hear me complain about the crowds and the weather and all the normal shit that I complain about out here. But just know when I'm complaining, at the end of the day, I'm happy I'm out here. It feels good. I was not myself when I was living in Denver, working a normal job. This past year and a half in town just destroyed me mentally. It took a lot out of me. So it feels good to be walking every day. It feels good to be putting out content and taking photos for you guys. This is where I belong. So we'll stay in touch. The videos will keep coming out. There might be a little gap here and there coming up because I'll have some longer stretches in the Sierra. I got 5 videos for this the last week ready to go for you guys, but don't be surprised if there's gonna be a couple days without a video as I do these longer stretches going forward. But we'll try to keep them coming for you. And I will do another one of these live Q&As for you guys when I get through the Sierra this year. I think we'll do one then, and I'll probably do a couple more later up the trail for y'all. So we'll leave y'all there. Thank y'all very much for tuning in, and appreciate y'all. We'll holler at you guys next time.